Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Here on today's tutorial, I bring you a tutorial on how to make a princess Dart Bustier. Yes, I already have that tutorial on my channel, but I felt like doing it again because the audio in that particular tutorial was not audible. So I need my chest line. These are the vertical measurements I'll be needing. I'll need the chest line, the bust points, the underbust length, the half length, and my bust span. Alright, but the measurements here on the screen are mine own measurements. Okay, they're my own measurements. So when you're making yours or that of your client, make sure you take the accurate body measurement of that client or for yourself. So the half length I'll be using is 20 inches. I want to attach this to a flare skirt. Okay, so I'll be using the half length of 20 inches plus half inch to attach that to the flare. Okay, so I've marked the half inch, so that will be the length of this princess Dart Bustier. Okay, so I'll just cut that out so that we'll be left with our working pattern. Then for you to fold your fabric, you're going to need your highest circumference, which is either the bust, or which is always the bust in making tops, or the waist if the person has a big tummy, divided by 4. For me, mine is 44 divided by 4, that's 11. I'll add around 7 inches for the darts and sewing allowance. Okay, so I'll start by marking my vertical lines, which is the chest line, which is 9 inches. My bust point is 11. I'll add half inch seam allowance and marking 11 and a half. My underbust is 15. I'll add half inch seam allowance, and that'll be 15 and a half. So I am marking those into a straight line. Okay, so just go ahead and extend it so that you can confidently work on your fabric, right? So what I'll be doing next will be to mark my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 16. I'll divide that by 2. That'll give me 8 inches. So I'm going to mark 8 inches at the top here. Okay, this is my shoulder line. All right, so normal for a busybody to also mark the same thing on the chest line, but I'm going to mark it at 5 inches from the shoulder. So from the shoulder I'll measure 5 inches. Okay, then make sure that I have my shoulder measurement there. I'll just rule it out like so. All right, so from the shoulder line you come down by 5 inches. Okay, so from the same shoulder line you also make another extension of 2 inches. Okay, and end it at the 5 inches mark. Right, so that will be for the dart for the princess Dart Bustier. Right, so that is settled. Mark your shoulder measurement, add 2 inches afterwards, then you come down by 5 inches. This is a constant. Then on the chest line, I'm not going to mark anything on the chest line. We'll go to the the bust point. Okay, so this is the bust point line. So you're going to mark your nipple to nipple measurement, which is the bust span. Mine is 8 inches divided by 2, that is 4. I'll add half inch for seam allowance. So I've marked 4.5 here on my bust span. Then on the underbust, I'll subtract half inch from whatever I have for my bust span. Okay, and I'll mark the same thing on the half length. So on the bust point I have 4.5, on the underbust I have 4, and on the half length I have 4. So I'll connect that from bust point to underbust to half length. Then on the shoulder line, remember the 5 inches that we came down by, I'll just connect it to the bust point like so. Alright, so for this tutorial I'm not using any pattern maker, no curve, just so that you can know that you can do this confidently on your own. Now the next thing you will need is your underbust dart. Okay, to know the dart you will take at the underbust. So whatever your bust falls into, please, you can use it. For me, my bust is 44, so the dart I'll be using is 2.5 inches. So I'll mark 2.5 inches on the underbust and on the half length. Please, if you don't get the underbust chart, you can pause this video and copy it down, so you can now narrow it down to your own bust measurement and use it for your clients or for yourself. Right, so from the bust point I'll just start from 1 inch below the bust point and start making a curve to the underbust like so. Okay, just like a C curve. Right, so then the next connection would be 5 inches downwards. Okay, the other 2 inches that we marked. Okay, so I'll just connect from that 5 inches downwards to the bust point like so. So that's how to make your princess Dart Bustier curve. You can see, so now that corsets are trending, but there are still some clients that would just want a normal princess Dart Bustier or a straight Dart Bustier. So I thought to refresh our memory on something that we already know. Right, so this is how you make your princess Dart bustier. So the next thing you would do would be to start putting in your body measurements. I hope you understand what we've just done here. Okay, in 4 or 5 minutes you are done doing the drafting, right? So on the bust chest line, I'm going to mark the bust divided by 4. Now I have a dart there which I'll cut out, so I need to replace it so I don't have a shortage. So the dart I have there is around 2 inches. You need to measure that, so you need to replace it as well so you don't have a shortage after cutting. Then I need a seam allowance of 2 inches. Okay, then by the time I cut out this pattern, I'll use half inch on one side and half inch on the other side to join. That will be 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and mark 1 inch. Right, so the next thing would be to take your waist measurement. The waist I'm working with is 42 divided by 4, that's 10.5, so I'll mark 10.5. I also need to go and measure my dart, okay, because I need to replace it so I don't have a shortage. So the dart I have there is 2.5. Then I'll add my 2 inches seam allowance. Then when I cut my dart, I'll need half inch on both sides, which is 1 inch to sew. So I've added the 1 inch back. I'll then connect from the bust to the waist. Right, so then you now draft your armhole. From that 5 inches mark, you just connect to your chest line. So that is how to draft your princess Dart bustier with your full shoulder. Now you can determine the type of neckline you want to. For my neck width, I want a neck width of 4 inches. All right, so I'll go ahead and mark 4 inches. Then I want the depth to be 5 inches, so I'll mark a neck depth of 5 inches. Then make a U-shaped neckline. So the neckline is dependent on your preference, so I just want it to be a U-shaped neckline, nothing serious. Okay, so you connect. Then afterwards you're going to come down at the shoulder level by 1 inch, and that will be for your shoulder slope or your shoulder slant. All right, so you connect from the neck width to that 1 inch at the shoulder, so you have your neckline. This is beginner friendly. Okay, so I'm sure that if you take this gradually step by step, if you follow the procedure that I've just done, you're going to get this right. So to people, all of you that have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the love you've been showing me on this channel. Thank you so much. And for those of you that are just joining us, please, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope you like what we're doing here. Consider subscribing if you are not yet subscribed, and please turn on your post notifications, okay, so that you'll be updated each time I upload a new video. So what I've just done was to retake my measurements before I put my scissors. Very important. Okay, when you think you're done drafting, please recheck, cross-check your measurements, okay, to be sure that everything is on point before you put your scissors, because once you cut, you have cut. Okay, so that's the thing, is what you sew is the end product of your cotton. All right, so if your dress is nice, it means your cotton is nice. If your cotton is wrong, you're going to have a wrong dress or a wrong whatever you're making. So that's why it's okay to check how you cut. Okay, so I'm sure you are seeing the way I am cutting this princess Dart bustier. So you can see I've cut out the side front, so you make sure you curve your hands when you are cutting to follow exactly the curve that you have made. All right, so just follow the procedure, follow what I'm doing. It's explanatory, as you can see me do it like so. Then the next thing you do would be to cut out your neck line and your shoulder slope. And guys, you're done with the front pattern of this princess Dart bustier. And for whatever reason it decides to rain while I'm doing this voice over, so I don't want the rain to overshadow my voice, so I'll be shouting a little bit. Sorry for that. Right, so this is your princess Dart bustier front pattern. We'll go ahead to draft the back pattern. Now for the back, you also need your bust measurement plus at least 5 to 6 inches allowance. Okay, your bust divided by 4 plus 6 to 7 inches allowance. Then you need an extra 2 inches for your zipper allowance. Okay, so if your folding for the front pattern is 15, you're going to be folding 17 for the back pattern, because you'll be needing 2 inches for zip allowance. Okay, so from the top I've marked my half length, so I'm just going to rule it out and cut it out. I don't want anything to distract us while we are making this tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my chest line, which is 9 inches. Okay, this is 9 inches, which is my chest line. Then I also go ahead and mark out my bust point, which is 11 inches. You'll be wondering why we need the bust point at the back. It is for the dart at the back. So my bust point is 11 inches plus half inch, that's 11 and a half, and we don't need the underbust at the back. Okay, so you just need the chest line, the bust point, and the half length. Right, so I'll go ahead and mark my 2 inches zip allowance all the way from top to bottom. Like so, just mark your 2 inches zip allowance all the way up and all the way down. And you connect in a straight line. So this would be your zipper allowance, to fix in whatever type of zip you want, your rainbow zip, your big head skirt zip, your not skirt zip, your stone zip, whatever type of zipper you want. Okay, so I've cut out from the half length just so that we'll have our working pattern. So at the upper part, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I'll also mark the same thing on the chest line. So on the chest, and also mark the bust measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. On the waist, then I'll mark the waist measurement divided by 4, okay, plus 2 inches allowance. Okay, so I'll just connect that. Right, so the next thing I'll do would be to mark the shoulder measurement on the chest line, then connect from shoulder to the chest line like so. Then we need to draft our princess dart at the back. So my bust span is 4 inches, that's my bust span is 8 divided by 2, that's 4. I'll add half inch allowance to it, that's 4.5. so I'll mark that on the waistline, also mark it on the bust point. So that's why we need the bust point at the back. I'll connect that in a straight line. Okay, so I want to take a dart of 1 inch, so I'll share it between the bust span line. So I'll share half inch on both sides of the bust span line, then I'll connect it to the bust point like so. Okay, so that's your normal waist dart. So want to connect this waist dart to a princess dart. Okay, want to transform it to a princess dart. So what I'm going to do would be to first do my neckline. I have a neck width of 4 inches, so I'll maintain that. Then I want the neck depth to be 2.5, so that's what I'll do like so. Then I'll do my shoulder slope or my shoulder slant. Then if you don't want to have a princess dart at the back of your bodice, you're okay with your waist dart, so this is fine for you. But if you want to make a princess dart at the back of your bodice, you need to follow this procedure. So I need to mark my armhole. So from half of the chest line, from half of the armhole line, I'm going to mark my armhole, then measure from half of that armhole. I'll just connect to the bust point like so. Right, so remember my chest line is 9 inches, so from half of the chest line I'll just connect to the bust point. Then afterwards, I'll go ahead and mark 1 inch up at that point, then redraft my armhole. Okay, so I need to go up by 1 inch at this point, just so that I don't have a shortage when I'm joining. Okay, so that's just it to make a princess dart at the back. You can see, just do your normal waist dart, then draft your armhole, then at the midpoint of your armhole, connect that point to your bust point, guys, and that would be all. So I need to start adding in my allowance. So by the time I cut out this dart, I'll need 1 inch to sew. Okay, and my dart is already 1 inch, so I'll be adding 2 inches at that point at the waistline. Added 2 inches. Okay, now to the bust area, by the time I cut out the dart, I'll need 1 inch to sew. Okay, so I'll then connect it to the waistline. Okay, so for the waist, I added 2 inches because 1 inch dart allowance and 1 inch for sewing the dart. Okay, so remember that you need to add 1 inch to your armhole. Okay, to that midpoint of the armhole, you need to go up by 1 inch, then redraft your armhole. This is very, very important. Please, stretching it is very, very important so that you don't have a shortage by the time you are joining. right? So I'm just going to cut it like so. This is just a cutting tutorial, by the way. I'm not going to be showing us how to join it because I already have a tutorial on how to join a Princess Dart Bustier. So I'll just go ahead and drop the link to that tutorial in the description box below. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. You know, I'm doing this for you, so it will be my utmost pleasure if you enjoy this tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are not yet subscribed, and please the notification bell is there just so that you'll be notified each time there is, you know, a new video. I don't want you to miss out on anything. All right, so you can see the way I am cutting. Please maintain the way I am cutting. Just follow the way I'm cutting, right? So that's why it's a video tutorial, so they can see everything. Don't forget to notch your zip allowance so that it's going to be easy for you to join or fix your zipper when you want to do it. The next thing you will do will be to slash out the zipper area. Okay, open it up because you need to open it up to fixing your zipper. All right, so we have come to the end of this tutorial. This is your Princess Dart Bustier for the front pattern, and this is your Princess Dart for the back. Now for this back pattern, you can do this procedure if you don't want to have a bustier. You just want a Princess Dart for your outfit. You can follow the procedure for the back pattern to make that. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. So till I come your way next time, I remain your friend here on YouTube, Nonny. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Bye.